experiences of applied aspects of Panchakarma in clinical practice. Post session, there will be a question and answer round. Now, I would like to share a brief introduction. Ma'am is MD in Panchakarma from University of Kerala, PhD from IPGTRA Jamnagar. She also has certificate course in German language and she has bagged first rank in entrance examination of University of Kerala, Trivandrum, and second rank in final year BMS. She is practicing traditional Kerala Panchakarma with modified procedures in various disorders. She has taken theory classes and practical demonstration to teachers, PhD, and foreigner students of Gujarat Ayurveda University, Jamnagar. She also served as research officer at CARI in New Delhi for more than 3 years. She also possesses academic experience in institutes like Dr. D.Y. Patil Ayurveda College, Pune, IPGTRA Jamnagar. She has published more than 20 papers in international journals. She has one book publication, namely Snehan Therapy, expecting proper Panchakarma on her name. She has participated as resource person, guest speaker in more than 21 various CMEs workshops and
We are
seminars. Workshop. She also participated in a refresher course on Panchakarma in Government Ayurveda College, Thiruvananthapuram, and organized by a Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India. She also received very prestigious award like Vaidyaraj A.V. Datar Shastri Scholarship Award and Certificate of Merit by College on winning first rank in second year BMS and second rank in third year BMS. Received the Certificate of Merit also. Now, without wasting much time, I would like to request Dr. Rajkala ma'am to please proceed with her presentation. Over to you, ma'am, and welcome. Yes, PPT is visible, ma'am. Yes, make it a full screen, ma'am. Yes, yes. Please proceed, ma'am. Uh, Ma'am, unmute your mic, please.
Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Please proceed. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Poonam, for a brief intro. And first of all, let me thank Rashtriya Ayurveda Vidyapit for giving me this opportunity to contribute from the place of Ganga in Ganga. And it's really a privilege and honor to me. I acknowledge respected Padma Bhushan awardee Vaidya Devendra Tribuna sir, President and GB member of RAV, respected Vaidya Manoj Nesri sir, advisor Ayurveda Ministry of Ayush, and Dr. Kaustubh Upadhyay sir, advisor Ministry of Ayush and director of RAV. And I welcome all the esteemed gurus who are from all over India and dear Shishyas from different parts of India. I thank you all and welcome in this Gyan Ganga. And I would like to contribute or share my views on the applied aspects of clinical Panchakarma. So, what is Panchakarma? So Panchakarma, as you all are the gurus, it's actually a very difficult situation for me because all are the gurus who already are practicing Panchakarma since many years and who taught to their shishyas about the Panchakarmas. So I'm very a small prani in this Panchakarma. Since only 20 years I'm in Panchakarma. But still, I would like to share like which new parts that might be not covered or textual and classical parts, which is not really practiced in the clinical practice. So my whole lecture will be concentrated on that part only. I won't go in the theoretical part. So coming to the Panchakarma, it's not only the cleaning procedures. Usually we always classify like Panchakarma is the cleaning procedures, or we divide it as a cleaning procedure. But I we are of this view that Panchakarma is not only the cleansing procedures. These are the procedures which are having palliative or cleaning procedure. All therapeutic procedures which we are doing in the clinical practice are comes under the Panchakarma. The Panchakarma subject is dealing with the techniques of the therapeutic procedures which we practice. So it's useful in all the branches of Ayurveda. We can say it's the soul of Ayurveda Chikitsa. Without Panchakarma, we cannot practice Kaya Chikitsa, Prasuti Tantra, Bal Roga, Shala, Shalya. Everywhere, if you want to treat any disease, the Panchakarma is the start. Like after giving some medicines, or Panchakarma is the complete therapy for all the diseases in all the specialties. And beyond that, like Panchakarma is for the Atura Swastha Sukha, Prayogo Bala Ayusha Vruddhi Pradama. So it is for the healthy person also, and it is for the diseased also to increase the Bala and Ayusha. What is the scope of Ayurveda in the practice, or what is the applies of Panchakarma? So it has written that Buddhi Prasadam Balam Indriyanam Dhatu Stiratvam Jvalna Siddhityam Chiracha Pakam Vaisa Karoti Sanshodhana Samay Gupasetanam. If we practice the proper Panchakarma, so the effect of Panchakarma is specialized specifically on the Buddhi. So Buddhi is the Sreshta Dhatu, or Sreshta, like after Rasarakta Mamsa made, Buddhi is the Sreshta. So it acts on the Buddhi. So till that level, the effect of Panchakarma is there. On the Indriya, if you give the medicines for the Indriya, it is very difficult to reach to that small area. But Panchakarma, with Panchakarma, we can reach the Indriya, or Indriya Shuddhi or Indriya Prasadam is very much practically acceptable or applicable with the help of Panchakarma. So Dhatu Stiratva. So if to get to reach the Dhatu Panchakarma, so that is not the Shodhana. That is the palliative Panchakarma procedures which we give the like nutritious basti or Yapana basti. That is the it gives the Dhatu Stiratva. Or Rasayana. Without Panchakarma, Rasayana cannot be done or cannot be practiced. So that is the effect of or the scope of Panchakarma in the practice. And it acts on the Agni. Like Agni is the like Kaya Agni, Shantagnu Miyate. So that's how this Panchakarma is effective in all elements. So classically, the Chikitsa is divided into the Shamana and Shodhana. But with this practice of Panchakarma, I see, I can say like Shamana and Shodhana is done with the can be done with the Panchakarma without giving any internal medicines. Also, we will get this Shamana and Shodhana effect with Panchakarma. What is the most important? The most important is the classical practices of Panchakarma or authentic practices of Panchakarma. That is the most important nowadays. If you see in the Google or in the internet, there are different Panchakarmas, different kinds of Panchakarmas are practiced in India or in abroad also. The papers also, if you see the publications on the basis of Panchakarma, like when I see the papers, I feel like this is not the Panchakarma what they are practicing. Like doing the simple eight day of Panchakarma, 15 days of Panchakarma. So I condemn such practices of Panchakarma. It should be authentic. Classical practices of Panchakarma should be done. What is the misnomers of Panchakarma? It's a Keraliya Panchakarma. So I have finished my PG from the Kerala, like Trivandrum. We never wrote or write this Keraliya Panchakarma because that is not a meaning. There is no such Panchakarma called as a Keraliya Panchakarma. Our head of the department in USA, he said, if you say Keraliya Panchakarma, that is the wrong concept. The procedures like Talapodashil, Fijishil, Kei, Takradhara, Tala, Mutaki, everything comes under the Snehana Swedana. It's the applications of Snehana and Swedana. Panchakarma is only the Vamanadi Panchakarma, which is the classical Panchakarma or which is given in the text. So what is the applied aspects? Like, of course, Panchakarma, whatever Panchakarma we do in the Purva Karma, Pradhan Karma, Pashat Karma manners. And this is the most important part of the Panchakarma. If the Purva Karma is not properly done, the Pradhan Karma will not be the successful. Or you won't get the, if the Pashat Karma, though we have done the Virechana properly, and patient is not following the Paschat karma, he may get the Pratishaya or he may get the fever after the Virechana if he is not following the Paschat karma properly. Or he may get the different disease also. So that's how the whole practice of Panchakarma is depend on these three phases. Every phase is equally important. I many times people practice the Panchakarma like okay, we will plan for woman Virechana, start the Snehapana from tomorrow. There is no any Vipanapasana has been done, no any Rukshana has been done, and they will start directly the Snehapana, and that patient will end up with some complications. So these three stages of Panchakarma or three stages of practices for the proper Panchakarma is most important. As we all know, we cannot standardize the Panchakarma or we cannot have the SOP of Panchakarma which will be equivalent for all. It's impossible because Purusham Viksham is the concept which is very important in the context of Panchakarma. As we all practitioners, we know that the same medicines cannot be given to the all. Same Sudarshan Ghanavati or Vibhon Kirti will not be effective for all the fevers or for all the Jwara. The same thing is there in the Panchakarma. Panchakarma cannot be practiced on the SOP manner. The at every stage, the drug or the procedure, duration of procedure, everything will differ. These are the 10 parameters where in Panchakarma, everything changes according to the dosha. Everything will change. According to the Aushadha, the dose and everything change. Desha, Kala, Satve, Agni, Sattva, Vaya, Bala. For all, this is not only for the Basti. That Sarva Karmanche Siddhi Mantu. If you follow all Samiksha, if you thoroughly examine all dosha, Ausha, Desha, Kala, in all the procedures, at last we get the Siddhi. So, coming to the Dvipana Pachana, when we consider Dipana Pachana in Panchakarma, it is there are two types of mostly it's a clinical type. There is no any theoretical reference for this, but we consider this as a Katu Pachana and Pikta Pachana. So the diseases where Katu Pachana we can take as a Chitrakadi Vati for the Pachana or some or Ushna Dravya Shunthi. These all comes under Katupachana. So this Katupachana will not be effective in any skin disorders, will not be effective in any Pitta Pradhan Prakriti, will not be we cannot subscribe it in the Ushna season or in the Grishma Rutu. So the area of Katupachana is where the Kapha Pradhanta is there, where Vata Pradhanta is there in the diseases, or where we need some Ushna things like Mamsagat is there, Mamsa Pachana we need. So there we can go for the Katu Pachana. And Tikta Pachana is where there we need the Pitta is predominant or Rakta is predominant in the pathology or in the disease or Dhatu, Rakta is involved. There we can give for the Tikta Pachana. So in Tikta Pachana we usually give Guruchi Ganavati or Visham Jvara Harvati or sometimes I give Manjishadi Kashayam. So that is comes under the Tikta Pachana. In the diseases where the same disease, if it is a Kushtha, then again the in Kushtha, the according to the presentation of the disease, the Pachana will differ. If it is the Stravi Kushtha or Stravi Vicharchika, we will give the Tikta Pachana because we need to reduce the Strava. And if it is the dry eczema, we can give the Katu Pachana also. So it is again a disease specific. What we give, what I prescribe in the Kushtha will not be prescribed in the diabetes for the Pachana. It differs. If a patient with Shwasa comes, I usually prefer to give the Sitopladi for Pachana or Talisadi for the Pachana with some Ushnatas. If it's again when it's a season, if it is when I was in Delhi, the practices of Pachana is different. When I was in Jamnagar, it was different according to the season because the hot season we cannot go for the Katu Pachana. There we have to consider the Tikta Pachana. And if it's the Shita Rutu now at present, and if the patient comes to my OPD, I usually prescribe some like Kupilu Hingwadi Vati, some Hingwashak Churna, that Shivakshar Pachan Churna, that differs. So according to the season also, the Pachana differs. Again, coming to some procedures which we can practice in the Amavastha also to get the Niramavastha. This is all the pre-operative of Panchakarma. This is what we do in the pre-operative phase or in the Purva Karma of Panchakarma. So, if a patient is of Kushtha, Stravi Kushtha, so I can go for the Kashaya Dhara. If the patient is of obesity or stholya with some muscular disorders, so I can go for the Udvartana. That there we don't need the external, like internal Pachana. We can go, this procedure can be done without giving internal Pachana. Udvartana with Yava or Kulathadi Churna, or if it's the patient is of Amavata, we can go for the Valuka Sweda at first stage to get Niramavastha. Then Vaitaran Basli can be practiced in Amavata for to get the proper Niramavastha. Bashpa Sweda can be practiced, not the Abhyanga. Abhyanga is contraindicated during the Amavastha or in the first phase of the or in the Purva Karma of the Panchakarma. So after all these drugs and procedures, how to assess to stop the Vipana Pachana and to stop the Rukshana. So there are the gadgets to assess the proper Rukshana. Usually, the practice of Panchakarma is 3 days Shunti Churna with hot water for twice a day, and Snehapana on the fourth day, starting with 30 ml, then 60 ml, then 90 ml, 120. This is what the practice is. But ideally, in text, in classical text, it has not been written anywhere. They have give the assessment criteria. How to assess, when to stop the Vipana Pachana, when to stop the Snehapana, when to give the Shodhana. So this is what the Vimalendriyata Sargomalanam Laghavam Ruchi Shutrut Sahodaya Shuddha Udgar Kanthata Vyadhi Mardhavam. This is Vyadhi Mardhavam is the main criteria to assess the proper Dipana Pachana. If we are giving Dipana Pachana and the disease is not coming down, that means we are not on the proper line or we are not doing the proper Rukshana. This is usually like patient of Amla Pitta, and we give some Chitrakadivati for Dipana Pachana, and he comes with the ulcers in the mouth. That means we are not doing proper Rukshana. The selection of drug is wrong. So this is Vyadhi Mardava, because many times in practice, clinical practice, I have seen if I go for the proper Rukshana or proper Dipana Pachana, the disease reduces by 50 to 60%. I remember one patient is of rheumatoid arthritis. That patient was having knee with like swollen knee, and he could not walk. And I gave Shadharan Churna for 5 days, and I called him. You come after 5 days, and he was not able to walk with his swelling and severe stiffness in the knee. He came with after 5 days. He came with the normal walking, the swelling on the knee. He was having HLA-B27 positive also. CRP was raised in that patient. He came with walking, and he told, "Now I'm fine. I don't have any complaint." Then I told, "Okay, still we have to go for the Snehapana." So this Vadi Mardhav, or if the patient is of skin disease with severe itching and oozing, and if you give some pachana, proper pachana, like Palatikadi Kashayam with Shardharam Churna, if that case or some Vachurnanam externally, that disease will subside. Then only we can go for the Snehapana. If disease is not subsiding, we cannot go for the Snehapana. So, Utsaha Tandra Nashascha Langite. This is the proper assessment criteria to assess whether the Dipana Pachana has done proper or not. So, this is the symptoms and the signs. So, in this slide, you can see the first phase, like this tongue. This was the before going for the Dipana Pachana. This was the tongue of a female with diabetes. Fasting was 300 and PP was some 420. This was on the first day of Dipana Pachana. And this tongue on the second picture, it was on the ninth day when we get the proper Dipana Pachana, when we get the proper Lakshana of proper Landhana. So you can find out the differences. It's not only the subjective matter. Patient will say he's feeling the lightness, and the in the diabetic patient, the nocturia will decrease. He will say like, I used to go for the urination in the night for 3-4 times. Now it's only once in a night. So that changes or that assessment you can or we should do in the before starting the Snehapana. And ESR, which is more in the previous stage or before starting the Dipanapachana, it will come down. And on the in the Nadi Pariksha also, we can find out like if those or for the student, if you started the assessing the Nadi of all the patients coming to you, after some years or some months, you will understand that how the Nadi changes in Amavastha and Viramavastha. So that is with the experience you can understand that yes, now Viramavastha has been come and you can start the Snehapana. So coming to the Snehapana, Snehapana usually we give for the Shamana, Bruhana or Shodhana. So Shamana, like in Shodhana, Hastani Jirana Yavane. So that means previous night diet should be digested and there should not be appetite. That is the time of administration for Shodhana Snehapana. Okay. Usually, we do Panchakarma for VIP patients or for the very pampered patient. So there, Shodhana Snehapana cannot be practiced. If patient wants to go for the Shodhana Snehapana, he should wake up at the sunrise time. And that time, that is the proper time to get the Shodhana Snehapana. And Shamana Shudvato Anannu, Madhyam Matra Shashite. So that is Shamana Snehapana can be given with the when the patient gets appetite in the morning without giving any food. That is the Shamana Snehapana. Many researchers now we give the 10 ml of Snehapana BD after food. That is not coming under Shamana, Bruhana or Shodhana. That is the modern copied dossier or modern copied postology, which is not in the Panchakarma. In Panchakarma, if you have to do the Snehapana, it should be Shamana Snehapana. That means Shudvato Anannu, Madhyamatra Shashati. Bruhana should be the Samadhyadehi. It should be with food. And Shodhana Hastane Jirna Ivane. That should be in the morning hours, the higher dose. This is the usually we do many we use many gritas, but the Shatavari when we are giving for the Shamana Snehapana, it should be given at 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock when patient get appetite, and the dose should be 50 ml or 45 ml, and the diet should be taken when he get the appetite. Or if you are doing Bruhana Snehapana, the dose will be less. That will be 20 ml. So he can take with the milk or he can take with the dal. So that is Bruhana Snehapana. And if you are doing Shodhana Snehapana with Shatavari Grita, that should be early in the morning. The dose will start as 45 ml in the morning and that will increase till the 200 ml or 250 ml. So that is the Shodhana Snehapana. Darimati Ghita, if you are doing for the Shamana, it will be the same like a Shatavari. So this can be any Panchagavya Ghita we usually use in the Apasmara, mostly in the psychological disorders or Apasmara. The taste and smell of the Ghita is very like pungent. So patient whose sattva is good, for them only we can go for the Panchagavya Ghita. But usually it is very difficult to go for the Brihana or Shamana Snehapana with Panchagavya Ghita. For Shodhana, patient easily take. So how to assess the Snehapana? So there are the criteria to assess the Snehapana also. I usually patient says like I am having headache, and those doctors or students who don't know that this Shiroruk is the Jiryaman Lakshana. That is given in the Jiryaman Lakshana that patient will have the Shiruru Brahma Nishtiva Murcha. Murcha also comes under Jiryaman Lakshana. That's why usually we do Snehapana, Shodhana Snehapana in the IPD patients only. Otherwise, we tell to the patient that there might be the chances that you should not travel for the longer duration, or this is the complaints or this is the symptoms you will have within the 10 to 1 or 10 to 1 o'clock. Usually the Jiryamana Lakshanas come. And after that, the Jirna Lakshanas come. So patient will ask, can I take the tea? I'm having severe headache. We will say, no. When you get the appetite, it will go away and don't take anything. So these are the Jiryaman Lakshana. It is not given in the Charaka and Sushruta. It is given only Ashtanga Sangraha. Ashtanga Sangraha only give the Jiryaman Lakshanas. Jirana Lakshanas, that is the same opposite of the Jiryaman Lakshana. And Samyak Lakshanas, we all know. Many practitioners, they see just Adasas Nidarshana or Snehodvega is the symptoms to assess the proper Lakshana. But I always tell my students that Snehodvega, like on the day of last day of Snehapana, how is the feeling of patient? If we feel like I have to take Sneha and if we feel nauseatic, that means that is the proper Snehana. We don't have to go for the further Snehapana. The complication. Usually in Snehapana, we get the complications. Most complication, like common complication is fever. If patient take any cold water or anything during the Jiryaman Lakshanas, he get the fever or jvara. Or ajirna of Snehapana is a most common thing which is very possible in now our culture nowadays in our lifestyle due to our lifestyle. And another complication which I find very regularly is the abnormal liver function test. And I remember one patient whose father was principal, and he called me, madam, my daughter, she was on Snehapana and she got fever. I was, of course, I was not there. That's why he was doing from the somebody else. And I told, okay, send the reports. And he sent that HGOT, SGPT was 180 and 200 something. And bilirubin was also increased. And he told she's having fever also. I told, don't worry, this is all because of the apatya during the Snehapana. And they were not ready to accept it. They said, no, no, she got infection because she went to somewhere, some hospital, and she got infection from there. And they went and they started the antibiotic. After taking the antibiotic also, the liver function test was abnormal. Then I told, you do one thing, take the avipattikar churna for 3 days. That was the Virechana because already she had done Snehapana for 4 days. So I told you just go for the avipattikar churna and that comes down. That is not that was just complication of Snehapana. Skin rash is very usual complication with Snehapana. Yeah, Murcha in Jamnagar, one student was falling in front of director office when she had taken the 180 ml of Snehapana. Chest pain, usually the patient with hypertension or diabetes, they get the chest pain. And that is because of apatya during the Snehapana, not because of Snehapana. Okay, and the treatment of all the complication is the Rukshana. Simple Hingvashta Churna or Takra that will give the relief in the all symptoms. Or Shinsi Siddha Jala also. There are some do's and don'ts which patients should follow during the Panchakarma. And who cannot follow this, they are not eligible for the Panchakarma. That we student or we practitioner should tell this. This should be written where the Panchakarma practices or those who want to practice the Panchakarma. This is the must. Ushnodopopcharisa, Brahmachari, Shapashaya means those who sleep in the night time only. Navegarodhi, Vyayama, Krodha, Shoka, Himatapan. This is self-explanatory, so I won't go in the detail. But those who can follow this, they are only indicated for the Panchakarma. Pravata Yana Yana Adva Bhashya Atyasana Samskriti. Nishatyuchukdhanaha Swapnadhumarajashi cha Yani Ahani Pibetani Tavanta Anyanyapi Teje. Sarva Karma Swayam Prayo Vyadi Kshineshu Chakrama. This is given in the context of Snehapana, but this is for all the Panchakarma and for all the diseased patient also. And without this, if the patient put the hand in the cold water, or he indulge in the sex, or if he sleep in the daytime, he is going to get the complication of Panchakarma. Or Vyayama Krodha Shoka, we already have seen in the practice. These all are the main reasons or nidan for the all lifestyle disorders. So this should be avoided. Or usually we tell on the first day of Panchakarma or Deepana Pachana. So there are some specific do's and don'ts also. Vaitarana, in that specific do's and don'ts are there. Or Tuvarak Pana, Tuvarak Snehapana. There you cannot have the Ushnodakopcharisat. The hot water is avoided. Or Yapanavasti, there are not do's and don'ts, there are very different do's and don'ts. So this should be kept in the mind while practicing the Panchakarma. So in Abhyanga also, on the first day, I never practice the Abhyanga on the first day of my clinical practice. I always give some Dipana Pachana or some Rukshana to the patient, and then we go for the Abhyanga. Abhyanga is told in the text for Upashaya and Upashaya also, not only for the therapeutic. But if you want to do for the therapeutic purpose, first we should go for the internal Rukshana or Dipana Pachana or specific medicine according to the specific kala. For Abhyanga also, we usually give some specific medicines. Sorry. The disease also matter. The same Abhyanga in Kushta is different. The practice of Abhyanga in Kushta is different. In Prameha also it differ. In bullous pemphigus also it is different. We cannot do the same Abhyanga in the bullous pemphigus. There we have to just give the mild Abhyanga. Coming Sandhigat Vata, Vatrakta, whatever will be the Suti in Sutika Paricharya Abhyanga is given. So there the Rukshana has not been explained. Or there you have to give the more Abhyanga with the Bruhanakara or Dhanvantaram of Shira Balatelam. In Vatrakta we usually go for the Pindatelam or Sarja growth Sendavadi Telam if it is in the Amavasta. In Niramavasta, we will give the Pinda or Pindatela or Kuttumchukadi Telam. So in Sandhigat Vata also, in Amavasta, we go for the Amvatari Tela or growth Sendavadi Telam. And in Niramavasta, we go for Prabhanjan Vimardhan or some Vatashani Tela. So that is different. Coming to the Svedana. In Svedana also, consideration of disease, season and avastha of the disease is very, very important. There are different types of Svedana in practice. Everybody practices different types of Svedana. Like Valuka, Churna Pinda Sveda, Jambir Pinda Sveda, Patra Pinda Sveda, Shashishali Pinda Sveda. These all depend on the different gunas. Like the Snigdha and Ruksha are the main gunas, but Ati Snigdha and Ati Ruksha is also because Valuka is the Ati Ruksha that cannot be practiced in a Vata Shonita, where Rakta is involved, where Pitta is involved. There you have to go for the mild Ruksha Sveda, that is Churnapinda Sveda, or where you need some Kafahara and Vata Shamana, that is Jambir Pinda Sveda. So we can practice it in the cervical spondylosis or iliitis or lumbar iliitis, that is uh, inflammation in the lumbosacrum region. The Patrapinda Swida can be given practice in the all Sandhigat Vata or where the pain is predominant. And Shashti Pinda Sweda is practiced mostly in the where we need the Bruhana therapies, that is in the muscular disorders or in uh, Rakta Vikaraj Vyadhi also. So Parisheka, there are the different practices of Parisheka, which is Dhanyamla Dhara, Takra Dhara, Kashaya Dhara, that we all practice. But the classic, what classic says, this Parisheka is also, should be practiced according to the disease, according to the season and avastha of the disease. Of course, the Shirodhara has been taken for the global identification of Panchakarma. Classical practice of Shirodhara should be done with a specific taila or with specific drava also. We do with takra, we do with dugdha, we can do with kashaya, medhe kashaya, and we can do with the vinegar also, food vinegar also. Fruit vinegar also we use for the Shirodhara in some psoriasis cases. So that can be practiced. So coming to the Vamana, detail of Vamana, like there is a in last vac, ninth vac in Goa, uh, some doctor was telling like she is practicing Vamana, like Mrudu Vamana, within 15 days, Vamana, Virechana, and Basti and Uttar Basti. So I asked which type of Vamana you are doing. She asked Vamana within, there is the Laghu Vamana we practiced on the first day. We call the patient, we give some Kashaya, we give Vamanoshada, and she will vomit without doing Snehana, without doing Svedana, they, without doing Snehapana. there are the practices of Vamana, but that is not the classical Vamana. Vamana should be done in the, there is a reference for Sadhya Vamana in the Jvara, where they told like Ishat Sneha or Alpa Sneha or without Snehana, you can go for the Vamana. But the specific condition they have written that Kaphavastha should be there, Utklishta Dosha Avastha should be there, and the dosha should be Amasha Sthita. Then only we can go for the Sadhya Vamana. Though it is the major Shodhan procedure, usually I have means many practitioners are practice Vamana in any season. But Krutrip Gunopadhana is not there. If we have to practice the Vamana, usually it has told all the Panchakarmas has been told to do done in the Sadharan Rutu. That is where the temperature of the environment 25 it stays in the 25 to 30 or 25 to 30 degrees Celsius. This is the proper time or proper season for all karmas. Of course, in the Sharad, in the Vasanta, or in the Prauruta, the temperature is varies in this degrees only. If you have to do Vamana at this stage, now when the temperature is 12 or 13, we should maintain the temperature not only of that room where the patient stays. There we have to uh, make the arrangement for the maintenance of temperature, then only we can do. Otherwise, there are the chances of the complication. In Vamana also, we have to be vigilant at every step, from the Dipana Pachana, Snehapana, gap days, on the day of Vamana, and after the Vamana, till patient get the Prakriti Sthata. That is when we finish the Samsarjan Karma and patient get the bala or normal strength, that is the prakriti sata. Till that time, we have to follow the all do's and don'ts of Panchakarma. Mantrocharana given in the Vamana. Usually, when we give the Vamana or Virechana, we do the Mantrocharana. And it is most important because we have done all the proper Rukshana, Snepana, Gap Day, Priyomana diet, everything was the good. But you don't know when you get the Durdina. So to avoid the other factors which is not in your hand, that is what written in that mantra, like Brahma, Daksha, Ashwini, Rudrendra, Bhu, Chandra, Arka, Anilaha, Analaha. That is the mantra for the other grahas also. Bhu, Chandra, Arka, Anila, Analaha, Rushya, Saushadhi, Grama, Bhuta, Sangacha, Pantute, Rasayana. This prayer is to get the success or to expect the success from all the universe. That's why this mantrocharana should be done before Vamana. So, what is the prerequisite? It is given in the Ashtanga Hridaya. Like he says, if we are planning for the Vamana, it should be Sadharan Kal. With the Swinnam Yathavidi. Patient should have done the Swihana and Svedana properly. And he should have taken the Shuvamyam Utlishta Kafam. In the previous day of Vamana, he should have taken the Matsya Mash Tila Devihi. Matsya Mash or Tila with Tila diet he should take to get the proper Utlishta Kafa. Nisha Suktam. He should sleep properly in the previous day night. Otherwise, if he is having anxiety on the previous day of Vamana, on the day of Vamana, we cannot perform the proper Vamana. So, Nisha Suktam, Sujirnanam, the previous day night diet should be properly digested. Purvane, in the morning, Kurta Mangale, Nirannam, this patient without taking any food, Ishata Snigdham, Va Peya Pita Sarkisha. Or sometimes we give the Peya in the morning in some cases. In some cases means to whom you have to give the Peya, that is written there. Vruddha Bala Abala Kliba Bhirun. According to the disease. We never give this peya in the prameha or kushta patient. But if the patient is vruddha or bal or klip or who is having fear of vamana, for them we give the peya. Otherwise, we usually give the akantapana. With what is given in the text, madhya, you can give the madhya. Usually practice with kshira or ikshurasam. Yatha vikara vihita madhu sendhava sanyita. So then we give the medicine Koshtam Vibhajam. So understanding of Koshta is very, very important in Panchakarma. There are three Koshtas. I, this is for the Shishyat, that before planning the Panchakarma, you should assess the Koshta of the patient. Without Koshta assessment, you cannot go for Snehapana, you cannot go for Vamana, you cannot go for Virechana, or you cannot give the Basti. So there are the methods to assess the Koshta. Might be you are trained in that, but the Mrudu Koshta should be given the Mrudu Aushadha. Kruru Koshta should be given the strong medicines, and Madhyama should be given the Madhyama. So coming to the Virechana, the preparation of patient is the most important in Virechana. If during the Snehapana, a female starts menstruating, that is the failure of the Vaidya to plan the Virechana. Okay. So before considering the Virechana, we should consider the hormonal state in the female. Okay. It should be started on the 5th day of the menstruation in the females. In the males, you can start when he is having time, because nowadays many patients come from the IIT background or corporate patients or VIP patients. We should ask them when they have the time, because ekagra mansa pitam samyak yoga jayate. If patient is not having ekagra mansa, we cannot go for the panchakarma. If he's having, oh, my boss is having, my boss will call, or I have meeting, I have some this urgent issues to solve. We cannot, we should not go for the panchakarma. If patient is ready to spare time, if patient's mind is calm and quiet, then only we can go for the panchakarma. So in such patients, we should ask patient to take a time. I usually tell, if a teacher, anybody comes to me, I'll say, if you have the time, you can come for the panchakarma. 15 to 20 days it would take, and you cannot join the or take the leave, because a gadi cannot be serviced in the home. It should be, we have to take it to the garage, and till that we should have a different arrangement in the home. The same way, if we are going for the panchakarma, we should, like, patient should have time. Otherwise, it's not possible. Or when you, yeah, in some cases, like patient is suffering a lot and he needs the panchakarma, OPD basis panchakarma can be practiced, but only in those patients who are agyakari. Who are not agyakari, I I remember one patient in the BHO only. We told a student explaining, okay, this is the dose you have to take. If he was from, I think, 100 or 200 kilometers from Banaras, and okay, take this ghee and come on the 5th day of Snehapana. So you can start after getting appetite, and you can reach the Banaras. So we'll admit him. When on the day 6th day when I see patient, I told, okay, how much ghee you have taken? He told, it is written here. Then I told, how, what was yesterday's dose? He told, it was, I don't know dose. I took 5 spoons. So that is what, if patient is not obedient, we cannot go for the OPD basis panchakarma. Otherwise, we will end up in the complications. So success of panchakarma or virechana is dependent on each stage of the karma, how we do it. So time of administration for Virechana is differ in the Delhi, Kerala, Jamnagar, Kolkata or Varanasi in the different season. When it is summer season, we usually administer Virechana in Kerala, it is 7:30 or 8 o'clock. But when I was in Delhi, usually we administer at 9 o'clock in the summer season, or in this season, Shita Rutu, or in Shishir or Hemant season, we usually administer Virechana at 10 o'clock or 10:30, or sometimes it's 11 o'clock. Okay, that is Madhyane Kinchit Avarti. Like in text, it is written, the time of administration should be Madhyane Kinchit Avarti. So Pratahana should be finished and Madhyana should be start. So that can be, that is the difference in Kerala, in Delhi, in Jamnagar, in Varanasi. So there is not the time to administer relation at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. This is not the practice of Panchakarma, or this is not the applicable in the Panchakarma. Consideration of Agni is also very, very important. If patient's Agni is more, or patient's Agni is patient having uh, Krishna Agni, and we give some mild dose of Virechana Aushadha, he will digest the dose, and there we will not get the proper Shodhana. So in that case, we should consider the Agni of the patient also. So of course, everybody, all gurus, they might be knowing this. Like if you have to give the Trudutavleha of different pharmacies having different action or having different potency. So when we are practicing, like I tried with Nagarjuna, AVP, AVS Vedam, same Trudutavleha. But in some, like with Nagarjuna, 80 gram of Trudutavleha, patient goes thrice or 5 times. With AVP, if you give the, yeah, of course, the Koshta, okay, it is, suppose it's a Madhyama Koshta. I tried in the Krura Koshta, Madhyama Koshta, Mrudu Koshta also, but the dose of other companies require the more in gram. While in AVS Koshta, yes, I know, if it's a Mrudu Koshta, if I give the 35 gram or 40 gram, patient will go to the 15 to 20 times. Okay. So this drugs, you have to, dose of the drug, you have to finalize to get the proper Virechana. And of course, the Koshta and Agni is also very, very important. Of course, the season is not in our control. That's why we have to pray prior to the administration of Virechana also. Usually, it happens. We give Virechana in the morning 9 o'clock, and at 11:30 or 12 o'clock, the whole season changes. Sometimes it started raining, sometimes it gets Durdina. So that time, at least if you pray, sometimes it comes like, yes, there will be the successful, because uh, it happened with one patient. We administer Virechana Aushadha at 11 o'clock, as it was the Hemanta Shishira, and she got 2-3 Vegas till 2 o'clock, and then we thought, okay, there's she might have digested the Aushadha, and we were just planning to give the second dose of uh, Virechana Aushadha, and suddenly the Durdina, there was like the day changes. It was like cloudy day. Then we thought, okay, we will wait. We'll give the hot water only. And at till 7 o'clock, she vomited the Aushadha and she went to toilet, I think 30 times. So sometimes it happens. Because of season, you have to consider, like there is the changes of the season on the patient also, on the Virechana also, and on everything. So it has to be taken in consideration. The this is different aushadas we use for the Virechana, Bhayadi Modak, Kavipattikar, Ichhapedi, Triphala, Draksha, Erenda Taila, according to the disease. Okay, but mostly I prefer the Flutavleha. If it is not available, or if I want to give it in the diabetic patient, I give it Triphala. If I want to give it in the Kushtha or Rakta disorders, I give it with the Draksha. Or if I want to give it in the rheumatoid arthritis patient or Amvata patient, usually I prefer adding the Erenda Taila in that. Ichhapedi usually I use as a like uh, second dose of Virechana Aushadha if that patient digested or vomited. Then at last, if I want some Shodhana more, we will give the Ichavedi or Abhyadi Modak. Avipattikar Churna usually used in the all skin disorders or where Sukumara. If in the kids or in the old patient, we use the Avipattikar Churna. Or in the Mrudu Koshta patient, we use the Avipattikar Churna to get with the 25 gram or 30 gram of Avipattikar Churna. If it's a Mrudu Koshta, he goes to he usually have the 25 to 30 Vegas. So the routine clinical complications of Virechana, skin rash after Virechana, hair fall, irregular hormonal assay or irregular menses, sometimes chest pain on the day of Virechana or after Virechana, or on the day of Virechana, sometimes the BP will shoot because of the drug action. So the treatment is just wait and watch or give the warm water, or sometimes very rarely it needed to give the Hingvashik Churna. So coming to the Basti, this is the Ardha Chikitsa. It's in the all branches of Ayurveda because it gives the instant effect. Like it is written like uh, पुष्टशोभ प्रमेहाना न kadachit anuaset avashyam asthape. So that is the Shodhana Basti is there, Bruhana Basti is there, uh, Stambhana Basti is there. So in Basti we get the instant effect. That's why it is the, or it can be practiced in the OPD basis also. Not the Shodhana Basti, but Yapana Basti or Padani Basti or Madhutairik Basti can practice on the OPD basis also. There are the Yapana Bastis, which like in text it has been written like Sarva Kala Deyaha, Sarva Rutushu Yogikaha. So it can be practiced in any Rutu, it can be given to any person or at any time. That is the Yapana Basti. Yoga Basti, of course, everybody is practicing in the clinical practice. It's a combination of Niruha and Anuvasana, Shara Basti, all Amavastha or Veteran Basti for the Amavastha or Amavata, ankylosing spondylosis. In all the cases, we give the Vaitarana, or in the uh, deep, deepest or in the deep Asti Dhatu Dushti, we usually give the Vaitarana and Niruha alternate. So preparation of Basti, sir, in Purva Karma, the Kashaya preparation or decoction, Shirapaka, whatever it is, very, very important. In some parts of India, the Basti is like a mixing of Kashaya and Taila. Kashaya will be just adding Kashaya churna and water, boiling it for 10 to 15 minutes, filtering it, adding some Taila in that and giving as a Basti. Other, I don't understand whether it's the Basti or something else. I understand might be the enema like it's not the Basti, it's the enema. You can say the Ayurvedic enema. But Ayurveda in text, it has been written like you have to add everything in the sequence. That like Purva Madhu Sendavam, it's all the sequence is there. So mixing is very, very important. It should not be in the that with chammach and vessel. It should be with the proper khalwa. And the most missing part in basti is khajena masika. Khaja is missing in preparation of the basti. In the practice, in many institutes also it is missing. It is written in the Ashtanga Hridaya, Ushnambu Kumbhi Vashpena Taptam, Khaja Samahatam. So the basti, after preparing, after adding the sendhava, honey, Neha, Kalka, Kwatha, or Avapa. After that, you have to do the Mathana with Khaja. So that is to make it more sukshma, to make it more effective. That is the Khajena Mathita is very, very important in the preparation of Basti. And Basti should be administered with Basti Putaka and Basti Netra. Otherwise, enema pot will not give you the effect of Basti. That is the difference in equipment is equal to enema and basti. If you are giving the enema, basti with enema pot, that is enema, that is not the basti. The pressure symptom, there are the two effects of basti. I think it is there in the next slide, drug effect and procedural effect. You will get the procedural effect in the enema, not the drug effect. But when you administer with basti netra and basti putaka, you will get the better result. Okay, there is the assessment is told in Basti also. That is, they have written if you give one putaka of Basti, let the Basti comes out. If you are not getting the Samyak Nidhu Lakshana, again you have to administer the Basti with that is the second putaka. And if you are not getting proper Nidhu Lakshana on that second Basti also, you can give the third Basti. That is Three Putak Basti is written in the text. We practice twice. Sometimes we practice for the Viputak Basti. The time of administration for Niruha also, it is Madhyane Kinchit Avrutti. That should be, uh, yeah, Virechana, it was Shleshmakale Gate Jnatva. That you have to understand that Shleshmakala has gone Gate Jnatva. Virechana you have to give, but in the Niruha, Madhyane Kinchit Avrutti. The Madhyana should start, like some part of Madhyana should be there in the time. That time Niruha should be administered. And Anuvasana, it is not like when patient take food and you have to give the Anuvasana. Anuvasana, it is written. Shite Vasante cha Diva Anuvasu. Like in Shita Rutu, like at present, or in Vasanta, we have to give the Anuvasana in the daytime. And in Sharada and Grishma, or when there is Durbina or Ghanagama, that time we have to administer the Anuvasana in the night time. I, in my clinic or clinical practice, I have seen the complications. Sorry. I have seen the complications of giving Anuvasana in the daytime in the Grishma Rutu. I have seen the complications. So that's why then we search why it has written like in Grishma you have to give the Anuvasana in the night time. Or in Shita Rutu, if you give in Anuvasana in the night time, there will be the complications. So it is same like a Snehapana also. For Snehapana also, there is like Snehapana should be given in the season. It should be given in the daytime. In Grishma, it should be given in the night time, Snehapana also. So what is the prerequisite for Basti? Like how we have seen in the Vamana, there is a prerequisite for Basti also. It should be Panchami Atha Tritiya Dilse. That first 4 days you should administer the Anuvasana, or 2 days you should administer the Anuvasana. On the fifth or third day, Sadhake Shubhe, the like it, in Panchakarma, the Jyotisha is included in everywhere. It is written like uh, according to the, it should be done in the Krishna or Shukla Paksha. It should be done in the Shubha Kala, that is Sadhake Shubhe. So the Ghati or Muhurta should be Shubha. Madhyane Kinchit Avrudde, Prayukte Bali Mangale. You have to do some puja. Abhyakta Svedito Utsrushta Patient should have done the Abhyanga, Vedana, and Utsrushta Malam. You should, uh, it's a self-explanatory. And Na Ati Bubukshitam. Na Ati Bubukshitam. In institute practice, it happens like हमने सुबह we prepare kashayam in the morning and patient comes at 10 or 11 o'clock. If a patient is of kapha pradhanata, we can administer basti at 10, 11 o'clock. But if a patient is of pitta pradhanata or who is having Tikshnagni, the administration should be early. Should be 9:30 or 10 o'clock. He should not be ati bubukshit. And after doing this, dosha bheshajadi, understanding, vasti should be given by Vaidya Samuha bhi. Bahu bhi saha. That is, Vaidya Samuha should be together to administer the basti. Uh, in Trivandrum, we have seen the practice of basti. There in the theatre, we had the washroom, hot water, everything was there in the Panchakarma theatre. But in many hospitals, this hot water bath is not practicing after the basti. That's why I have taken this reference that it is written, but after basti, patient should take the hot water bath. Why? Because vikara ye nirudhasya bhavanti prachalei malehe. After niruha, the doshas or the mala will become the prachalman. Te sukhosh nambu siktasya yanti bhuktavataha shamaha. After taking the hot water bath and food only, they will subside. That's why it is very, very important to practice. This is the post-operative of Niruha. After administering Basti, we should have the hot water bath facility in our clinic or in our hospital. That patient should go to toilet and then he should take hot water bath and then he come sit in the chair and then he should take the food, that is mudgayush or khichdi, whatever is according to his disease. So that's why it is very, very important in the Nirobasti. What are the complications which we usually see in the Nirohabasti? That is, patient usually fall sometimes. It's not usually. Sometimes patient may fall in the bathroom because of the hypotension. If we are doing the Lekhanabasti or Erindamuladi Niroha or Shodhanabasti, usually patient will get hypotension. So the main solution is ask patient not to lock the door or burning in the abdomen. If a patient, if we give the Tikshna Basti, sometimes nowadays this practice is of Gomutra, the patient is not having time to get the Gomutra because he has to go to the uh, to the Goshala to collect the Gomutra, and they usually ask to come at 4:30 or 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock to get the proper Gomutra. So what patient bring the Gomutra Arka. And the practitioners or students, what they add the Gomutra Arka as such in the Basti. In Basti, if you have to add the Gomutra Arka, it should be diluted. And if you are not diluting it, and if you are giving the more dose of Gomutra Arka, it will cause the burning in the abdomen. Or sometimes the Lekhan Basti in the Mrudu Koshta patient cause the burning in abdomen. Or pain in abdomen also. If the Basti is of very Tikshna Guna, it cause the pain in abdomen. And if it do the more Shodhana, it's a strong Basti, it, it does the insomnia also in some patients. Or sometimes skin rash also. The solution is stop the Basti and give the symptomatic treatment. The Nasya, it's the easiest and instant effective Panchakarma. As we all know, Nasai Shishodwaram, it can be practiced in the all forms. Nasya can be done with powder, Nasya can be done with kheer, Nasya can be done with grita, Nasya can be done with taila, Nasya can be done with dhuma, Nasya can be done with uh, tulasi swarasa. So any effect what we want, we can get from the Nasya. So Dhumanasya, Pradhamanasya, Pratimashanasya, that is what everybody is practicing. What is the indications? Usually in Pratishaya, infertility is actually usually we do with the Phalasarpi in the first stage, and after getting pregnancy, we do the Pusavan. That is the Nasya only. Epilepsy in the first stage, we usually do with the Kapil Gavamutra, or after Shodhana, we do with the Panchagavya Mahapaishachik Dhrita for the epilepsy. In the Krimi, usually we do with the Nimbataila. In Kushta, Mahatriphala, Mahasikta Grita, or sometimes uh, Karanja Tela we do for the Nasya. In hair disorders, of course, Nilibhingadi and many other oils are there for the Nasya. In neurological conditions, usually go for the Dhanvantram 101 Avarti or 41 Avarti. In psychological disorders, we do the Marshanasya or Pratimarshanasya with the specific drug modifying disease modifying drugs. Sometimes we do with Pradhaman Nasya with Trikatu or Vacha. Sometimes we do with the Sangyasapan Gana Churna. And sometimes we do with the uh, Chirabala Tail also. So that is, or Brahmi Ghrita also. Of course, again, there is the time of administration for the Nasya also. Grishme Purvanye. Like it is written in here also. Praurute Sharad Vasanteshu Attekeshu Rogeshu Navanam Kuriyat Krutrim Gunopadhanam. Means the temperature of the environment should be, or the surrounding should be 25 to 28 degrees Celsius only to get the proper effect from the Nasya or any Panchakarma. Grishme Purvani. In the Grishma season, it should be done in the morning times. Shite Madhyane. In this season, it should be done in the afternoon. Or Varshasu Adurdini. If it is the Varsha season, when there is no Durdina, that time only we have to administer the Nasya. This is what indications I have told. It is different for the different clinicians. It's not like necessary, like if I feel like a coma patient should be given the Nasya, uh, it should be practiced in the all the patients, or all the physicians, or all Vaidyas should be agreed that yes, here you should practice the Nasya or you should not practice the Nasya. In text, it is written in the Charak Samhita, Siddhasthana, second chapter, at the last, after giving the thousands of indications and contraindications, he has written that yebhyo yan hitam yasmat karma yebhesha yad ahitam न च एकांतेन निर्दिष्टम अपि अर्थे अभिनिवेश बुधः. Means whatever the indications and contraindication I have written is for the understanding, for the Vaidya. But what he has, again he's telling, Swayam api atra Vaidyena tarkyam. The Vaidyas or tarkya of the clinician is most important. In which condition? Utpatete hi sa avastha desha kala balam prati. According to the avastha, according to the desha, according to the kala, and according to the bala. If any condition comes where they have written it is contraindicated for panchakarma, they can do the panchakarma. Or where it is written it is indicated, but condition comes as it should not be given, we should not administer the karma. It's written here. Yasya karyam akaryam sat karmam karyam cha varjita. Sometimes it's a where it is indicated, you should contraindicate, or where it is indicated, you can do the karma. Like Chardi Rudro Gulmanam, Vamanam Sve Chikitsite. Means in in that indication contraindication, he has written like in Chardi, in Rudrog, or in Gulma, Vamana is contraindicated, but he is written like in their concerned Chikitsa Adhyaya, it is written. In Hudroga also, they have written the avastha where in Hudroga Vamana is indicated. The same like in Jwara it was given. So avastha prapta nirvishtam pushtinam vasti karma cha. Like usually vasti karma is contraindicated in all the pushnas. But if suppose it's a psoriasis patient, you already have done the Vamana, Virechana, and Samsarjana, or everything is finished. At last, to avoid the recurrence or to get the proper skin texture, we usually give the Vastikarma. Usually give. Like Yaparam Vasti, we administer in the Kushna also. At the last. So that is the Avastha Prapta Nirvishtam. That Avastha, understanding of Avastha is very, very important in the practice of Panchakarma. That's why he has written. Tasmat satyapi nirdeshe kuryat uhyam swayam diya. Vina tarkena ya siddhi yadrusha siddhi revasa. If without tarka, if we are practicing Panchakarma, it is the yadrusha siddhi. In Panchakarma, in Basti, again the Parihar Kala is there. If we are administering the Basti for the 15 days, again 1 month is the Parihar Kala for that. So in last, I will just tell the points for the Panchakarma in Prameha and Pushta, then I will stop. So if we are doing nowadays, the diabetes or Prameha is the most common. Mostly patient comes to us, it's a known case of diabetes or hypertension, and he is having other complaints. Might be he is having some skin any skin disease, or he is having liver hepatomegaly or cholecystitis, whatever it may be. But patient is already known case of diabetes and hypertension. So how to plan Panchakarma? Because when we go to the classics, it is contraindicated. Like Prameha patient is contraindicated for the Svedana. Prameha patient is contraindicated for the strong Shodhana. It has written like Sthula Pramehi, Balvani, Krishna and Sthula Pramehi. So Sthula Pramehi only we have to go for the Shodhana. So before planning, we have to understand the dosha, dhatu, malavastha. What is the dosha avastha of that patient? Which dosha is mainly involved? Which dhatu is involved in the pathology or in the symptoms? What is the avastha of mala? Kleda is in which state now? Whether it is the Nina avastha, it is the uh, Utkishta avastha, or whether it is in the Prakupita avastha. So that you have to understand. Then we can start the Dipana Pachana, sorry, which never includes the Kleda or Kapha. So here in the diabetes or in the prameha, we have to consider the drugs for the Dipanapasana, which reduces the kapha pitta or kapha pitta shamaka. So amala ke haridra, phala pittadi kwatha or trifala churna and udvartana with trifala and yava can be done for the pre-operative of the prameha. Then again, you have to assess the proper landhana, which already I have seen in the second slide. And see the fasting and PP also. If fasting and PP is reducing with the Dipana Pachana, that means we are doing the proper Dipana Pachana and we are on the right track. And if the nocturia is decreasing from 4, 5 to 1, then means the proper Dipana Pachana we are doing. So this is the Purva Karma. Then coming to the Snehapana, as Prameha is Anushangi, routinely we never go for the Bruhana Snehapana. Usually we go for the mustard oil, sarso tel or mustard oil can be used for the Snehapana. Or if patient is of Pitta Pradhanta, you can go for the Tila Taila also or Dhanvantaram Taila can be given or Grita also, Trifala Taila or Gugulu Piktakam Grita if patient is having the hyperlipidemia or some lipid imbalance that can be taken. And in this case, we should not cross the Samyak Snehana Lakshanas. It should be just before Ishata Snigdha. It should not be Ati Snigdha. Okay, to get the proper Virechana or proper Shodhana in the diabetes patient. As diabetes is contraindicated for Swedana, what we do during Swedana or during gap days, we should avoid the Ati Swedana or strong Swedana. We can go for the Bashpa Sweda or Kaya Seka or Nimba Kashaya can be used for the mild Swedana or routinely hot water bath with more water, like 4 to 5 buckets of hot water can be given in the diabetic patient. In the Shodhana also, the Bala assessment and Koshta assessment is must. Usually, the Kushta Shofa Prameha is indicated for the Ruksha Virechana. We should not give the Snigdha Virechana in such patient, not to administer the Erenda Taila in the diabetes or Kushta. Usually, Triphala Kashaya with Rudta Churna or Avaleha is advisable for the Virechana. For Vamana, Madan Phala with Vacha and Pipali is advisable in diabetes. Or in Dhamargaon Bija Churna will be the choice in Pittaja Prameha. In Akantapana, how to modify the Vamana in diabetic patient. In Akantapana, we usually not give the milk if the patient is of diabetes. We usually give Nimba Kashaya or Yavagopana. And in Vamanopaga, of course, the Yashti Madhu Bhan. And the modification in Samsarjana, usually we give the first, like Peya Vilebim Akrutam Cha Yusham Rasam Tridi Tathahitakasya. That is the same like a modern science also says when there is a gastric emptying, you should give the carbohydrate first, then protein and the fat. The same way the before 4,000, 5,000 years, our Shastra, our Acharyas has been written. The Peya Vilepi, if it is in the case of diabetes, we should go for the Yava or Godhuma instead of rice. In the Yusha, we should go for the Mudga or chickpeas for the Yusha. And when it comes to the Rasa, we can go for the vegetable soup with ghee. If patient is vegetarian, for non-vegetarian, we can go for the Mamsa Rasa. In Kushta, like Rukshana should be done with the Piktapachana that already was there in the first slide. Dhavana can be done with the Kashaya Dhara in the during Dipana only. Or Avachurna with Gugulu Panchapalam Churna or Trifala Churna can be done in the first phase. In Astravi, Katupachana or Tailadbhinga can be done. In Snehapana, we can use ghee like Tiktakam, Mahatiktakam, Vajra, Gugulu Tiktakam, whichever according to the season and according to the avastha of the disease and according to the feasibility of the patient. This should be selected. In Taila, Triphala or Shirabala can be used. The gap day in Kushta, the for Abhyanga, simple tila taila or coconut oil should not be used. It should be medicated oil like Iladhi Tailam, Jatradi Tailam, Nimba Tailam, Nalpamaradi or Pinda Tailam. For Svedana, we can go for the mild Svedana in Kushta also. So Nimba Kashaya can be used or Siddhartha Snana Churna or Yavakut can be used for the Bashpa Sveda. And in Shodhana, as usually in Kushta, I prefer to give the Avipattikar Churna or Srivritta Uleha. Tuvarak Taila might we use it for the Rasayana or after the Shodhana. That Tuvarak Chalmogra Taila is on the name of Chalmogra. It is available in the market. It is given in the Sushruta Samhita Mahakushtadhyay. Usually we give it after Virechana, we give it for the 10 to 15 ml. We do the Ubhay Shodhana. It is in text, it is written, it should be practiced for the 5 days. So we give it for the 5 days, and after giving 10 to 15 ml in the Madhyama Koshtha. Patient usually vomiting for the 2 to 3 times, and we goes for the stool for the 3 to 4 times. If it is the Kruro Koshtha, we give 20 ml. So that time patient usually vomit for 2 times or 3 times, and stool for the 5 to 6 times. So that is the, and in that Tuvaraka Taila use, it is written that during that 5 days, patient should take the uh, khichdi with sendhava and grita after getting the appetite in the night. So that is a very good practice of shodhana in the Kushtha and Prameha. It is given in Sushruta Samhita. In the both diseases, strong shodhana is indicated, so we can go for the strong shodhana. In that in Kushtha, the samsarjana can be modified as pitta shamaka ahara dravyas, godhuma, suji, or gooseberry soup can be used. So with this, I I thank all my gurus who make me what I am today, or what I can share today. Is all the knowledge which I got from the different gurus from the south, from the Maharashtra, from the different parts of India where I learned Panchakarma practices. I thank Ministry of Ayush for giving me this opportunity, and RAV for giving me this platform to share my knowledge with all the gurus and shishyas. Of course, my mother institute, BHO, to giving me this space to be present here, and all guru shishyas who are present here, and my patients and students who made me what I am today. So I thank you all, and thank you all for hearing patiently. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, ma'am, for sharing wonderful information and your valuable experiences with all of us. That has greatly added to our existing pool of knowledge. Thank you very much, ma'am. Now it's a time for question and answer session. If anybody is having doubts or queries, they can ask. Anybody is having any questions, they can please ask. You can write in chat box also. Any questions from the viewers? Anybody would like to ask anything? Okay, I think there are no questions, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am, for sparing your valuable time for all of us and enlightening us on various aspects of Panchakarma and clinical practice. Thank you. Now it's time to extend a vote of thanks. I would like to request Dr. Manisha Rana to please proceed.
ये तो आवाज उन्हें खत्म कर दिया क्या वहीं से, तो वो भी धन्यवाद तो बोलेगी.
Namaste everyone. This is Dr. Manisha Rana from RAV, and it's a moment of honor for me to propose formal vote of thanks on 124th webinar Gyan Ganga Knowledge Bridge, a webinar series organized and initiated by Rashtriya Ayurveda Vidyapeeth. On behalf of organizing committee, I would like to present immense gratitude to Dr. Rajkala Panchakshari Patil ma'am for the wonderful explanation on the topic applied aspects of Panchakarma in clinical practices. Thank you so much, ma'am, for taking us through beautiful slides, and it was really informative session for all of us. And I would like to present immense gratitude to you once again on the behalf of entire team of RAB, Gurus and Shishyas also. And thank you so much, ma'am. And now I would present immense gratitude to Padma Bhushan Vaidya Shri Devendra Trigunaji sir, who is President Governing Body Rashtriya Ayurveda Vidyapeeth, for his immense blessings and continuous encouragement. I also present immense gratitude to Vaidya Manoj Nesri ji sir, who is Advisor Ayurveda, Ministry of Ayush, for the continuous efforts and support. I extend heartfelt gratitude to Vaidya Kaustubh Upadhyay sir, who is Director RAV and Advisor Ministry of Ayush, for his continuous encouragement, support and guidance in all our efforts. I must thank the organizing team who is working behind the bars to make this event a grand success. And I also present immense gratitude to all the gurus and shishyas who have joined us live from different parts of the nation. Thank you, everyone. And the topic and the speaker for the next webinar will be shared with all of you very soon. Till then, thank you and keep doing well. Thank you so much, ma'am, once again.
Thank you. Thank you
कार्यक्रम
so much.
संचालन की बहुत बहुत बधाई, धन्यवाद मैडम आपको, मनीषा जी।
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.